to put this one under the category of the rumor mill.
I love
this
rumors.
This one is definitely a rumor, but this show is not necessarily a movie news show. We're movie fans. We talk about things going on in the world of movies, and every once in a while we like to talk about some rumors and whether they're true or not, and just kind of speculate and fantasize about what it would be like if they were true. Well, there's a report going around in some trades that I really like reading, I almost said Cinematical. That's one of the OG movie sites that has been around for a while. Cinema Blend, Superhero Hype, and many others are writing about this rumor right now, that Sydney Sweeney, who of course just wrapped up her run on Euphoria as the series ended, is possibly going to be joining the MCU under the X-Men brand. And this is something that was broken by some of the Twitter leakers and stuff like that are, to be generous, are hit and miss. But, I saw this report. I thought, well, that would be interesting. Because, Sydney Sweeney is actually not a bad actress. I don't think she's great, there are some people who think she's a legit great actress, but I think she's good. And I think she has room for improvement and could become even better. So this kind of fascinates me. And of course, she's a big splashy name right now, especially with Euphoria ending. And what was the name of the one where she played the maid that was just out this year?
Oh, House.
Is it The Housemaid?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was a big hit with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Very filthy movie.
Let's not forget Madam Web.
What's that?
Madam Web. Don't forget.
Oh, and of course, Madam Web.
I almost think she can't be in this because I just can't unsee her from Madam Web.
It's almost hard to believe. I almost forgot about her in Madam Web.
And I didn't even see the movie.
So I thought we would take a second. Now, is she going to actually end up being in the MCU and the X-Men franchise? I don't know. I really don't. I wouldn't honestly give any credence to these reports for now. I'm not saying it's impossible. Could happen. Could. But let's imagine for a second. What if that's true? Who could we see Sydney Sweeney playing in the X-Men universe? I'm going to give you 5 that I could see in order of least likely to, I think, my top choice. Then, Rob, I'm going to want to know your thoughts on them and maybe give you some of your names you could throw out there. So let me start down at number 5. At number 5, likely, of her playing, I would say Mystique. Now, Mystique has been a mainstay in the X-Men live action films, whether it's Rebecca Romijn or whether it was Jennifer Lawrence who played her and, all that kind of stuff. She's kind of been a mainstay. She is a popular X-Men character. And I think she would actually fit the character pretty well. I think she would fit in that role quite well. Now, the reason I have it down at number 5 and not any higher is because, as I already said, she's been in every X-Men franchise so far. And maybe it's a character they don't feel they need to move on to right now. So I think I feel good enough to put it on the list, but I have it that far down the list just because they've done Mystique a lot. Now, would they do Mystique in the way that she's like the one who raised certain characters, the mother of Nightcrawler? Would they do that one? Would they do more of the Jennifer Lawrence one? Who knows? But again, I'm going to put it on the list regardless, down at number 5. At number 4, another character that has already been portrayed by one already mentioned Anya Taylor-Joy, Magic. Ilyana Rasputin, also the little sister of Colossus. You know what? I could totally see her playing this role. I really could. And you know what? This would be a fascinating character to use. Now, in the little X-Men film that came out, what did they call that one again? New Mutants?
New Mutants.
Not such a good movie, despite the fact that you had some really good performers in it, as the aforementioned Anya Taylor-Joy, who played Magic. It wasn't really the comic book Magic, and it was just a terrible thing. But I think this character could be done really well on the big screen. I think having some familial stuff in this, because I believe Colossus will be a part of it, I think would be a really good idea, and I could see her playing a character like this. Now, the one knock on her playing a character like this will be the same knock I'm going to bring up in a minute, which is she might not be young enough Because remember, Sydney Sweeney isn't 19 anymore. I mean, she's great, and I still think she could play the role. So I'm down further on my list at number 4, but I'm going to have her there anyway as Magic. All right. At number 3, this one might catch some people by surprise. Rogue. I could really, listen, here's the main reason. I could see her getting into playing a great romantic relationship with a Gambit. Like, really easily, really well. Wouldn't it be a kick in the teeth, too, if they just went and got her Euphoria co-star? What's his name? Who was just in Frankenstein?
Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, wouldn't it be now hilarious if they went and got Jacob Elordi to play Gambit? But the one knock on her for this role, it all depends on how they chose to portray Rogue. The one knock on Rogue is the same one I'm going to have on Magic, which is, depending on how they choose to portray her, traditionally Rogue is younger, right? So she might be aged out for Rogue, but maybe they decide to portray Rogue a little bit differently. So that's why I don't have Rogue any higher on the list, but I'm going to have it down at number 3. All right. See a lot of people saying Kitty Pryde, too old, definitely too
Way
old.
too old to play Kitty
Definitely
Pryde.
too old for Kitty Pryde. At number 2, this is where we're going to see how well she's developed her acting chops. Polaris. I think there is some, look, you guys know my all-time favorite comic book character. Not comic book movie character, but my all-time favorite comic book character is Magneto. By miles, I think he's the most fascinating, interesting, complex, brilliant character I've ever read in the comic book pages. He's my absolute favorite. And his relationship with Polaris is even more drama-filled than his with Quicksilver or with Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
And now they did use Polaris. Remember, what was the name of that TV show that they did with it? It was an X-Men TV show without the X-Men name to it. What was it called again? It was on Fox. Guys in the
where it was
live
like the kids.
Guys in the live chat.
Called,
the Gifted.
Yeah.
I think it was either Gifted or The Gifted, one of the two. So they had a Polaris character in there, and they kind of teased about the relationship with Magneto and all that kind of stuff, but they never really went full out with it. I think this could be not just do I think she'd be good for the character. I think this is a character that would be great to bring to the big screen. So I'm going to go at number 2, Polaris. That brings me to number 1. And I think I'm not alone in this. I think probably when you hear the idea of Sydney Sweeney joining the X-Men universe, I think probably 70% of you guys thought the same name that I thought of. Emma Frost, White Queen. I just, there's something, you know what? And Emma Frost is a character earlier in her existence, I didn't think was one of the stronger characters on the pages of the X-Men books. But as the decades passed, they've made this character a lot more interesting. I mean, she has revolved from going from villain to hero to a leader of the X-Men to one of the actual prominent figures in the entire mutantscape within the pages of Marvel. And I think Sydney Sweeney would be a great Emma Frost, aka White Queen, aka, Boss Bitch, as she was referred to once. I think she'd be great in that part. I think that's the one. And I don't just say that because I think 70% of other people probably would pick Emma Frost. I pick it because of the reason 70% of the other people would, because I think she's just a great fit for it. Are there other actresses that could be even a better fit? Absolutely. But when I think of her potentially joining the MCU in the X-Men world, I just can't get Emma Frost on my head. So those are the ones that I've picked. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. One of the hardest things about trying to lose weight is just figuring out what actually works, because we've seen them all. There are a million trends, diets, and gimmicks out there, and honestly, it can get overwhelming. And that's why Weight Loss by Hims really stands out. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever, and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite and eat less, so success is within reach. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever and only GLP-1 available in a pill for weight loss, so there are no needles needed. And the process is extremely convenient. Everything happens online. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A.S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com. Rob, any particular thoughts about the ones I picked, and do you have any you would add to the list?
Well, it's hard. Okay. I love the X-Men. Love the X-Men. I've loved the X-Men. They're kind of like the comic book equivalent of Star Trek for me. Love the whole mythology. The thing about the X-Men is it really depends on how they're going to, like, even when Bryan Singer's first movie came out, the X-Men were all kind of older. You saw the Rogue was a younger Rogue, but when Rogue was first introduced in the comics, she was a villain. She was part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and like she stole Miss Marvel, aka Captain Marvel. She stole her powers. I mean, she was bad. And so I see that she could easily, Sydney Sweeney either being Emma Frost or being Rogue and being introduced as being bad, as villains, would be great. Because seeing her change, the change would be really interesting to see her go from being a villain to a good person. Polaris is a really interesting thing too. One thing I would suggest is Dazzler. I think
that would have been one of my honorable mentions.
And
yes.
The thing is, I think she could be a great Alison Blair. But what I'm curious about more than anything, like I'm thinking, okay, if Sadie Sink is our baseline and they're going to go mid-20s, let's just call it 25 years old is going to be the baseline. So they're graduate students at Xavier's school. If they're going to do that.
But Sink could also play 19 or 20.
Yeah,
easily.
if she has to.
Yeah.
So they could go younger. And so it's going to be really important to see where they're going to go, because if you go Emma Frost, like I would love to see something that they kind of did this with First Class, but I want to see the Hellfire Club having a prominent role in the new MCU X-Men universe. I'd love to see the Black King and the White Queen and all of that. And it was kind of, Kevin Bacon was kind of doing that, and they kind of brought in a little bit of that Hellfire Club flavor. But that's kind of, I agree with you. Polaris would be great too, but how are they going to deal with Magneto? Is Scarlet Witch going to be rebooted as Magneto's daughter, and is she going to be an Omega level mutant? It's going to be really interesting to see, because I have no sense of it yet. How are they going to do the MCU? And it's going to be with Sydney Sweeney, they could go either way. I just see her as being a villainous character first and coming in the fold. And Polaris, it could be, like you said, Polaris, the White Queen, or Rogue could all fit that bill. And also, she's quintessentially American. So maybe you want to do something different with her. I mean, Mystique could be a good one, but it's tough. I mean, I don't see her. I mean, obviously she shouldn't be people like Jubilee, and X-23 is younger, and
what about Husk? Husk would be an interesting one. Age could be an issue. Age could be an issue with that.
Husk is kind of a late addition to the. It's tough to say because I just don't know if are they going to go classic X-Men? Are they going to go X-Men animated? Like
I think they should mix it up. Like, I think you should have your Bobbies, you should have your Beasts, you should have your Cyclops. But I also think they should probably pepper in a couple of, they've added a lot of mutants in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, a lot.
And I think it would be a good idea to add some of those in there too. By the way, I'm just going to throw this out there. Michael Gonzalez in the live chat just threw out a fan casting. Daniel Craig as Magneto. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
You know who the perfect casting for Magneto is? Absolute perfect. If era wasn't an issue and time and you could go back and pick somebody, a 57-year-old Rutger Hauer.
Yes. He's the perfect Magneto.
A 57, 58-year-old Rutger Hauer with the long hair. Oh, that would have been like the ultimate Magneto. That would have been such an awesome thing to see. I like it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, obviously, I think there's a 90% chance that this particular rumor isn't going to end up being true. But if it were, who are some characters you could see Sydney Sweeney playing and maybe playing well and fitting the role really well? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.